Warning. The following is a long list of warnings. If warnings offend you, do not watch this show. Warning. This show contains adult themes. If you are not an adult, do not watch this show. Warning. This show contains a lot of offensive language and may contain graphic content. If you're a Karen, do not watch this show. Warning. This show may contain shabby impersonations of celebrities. If you are a celebrity, represent one, or think this is unfair, do not watch this show. Warning. This show contains what could be seen as controversial and subversive ideas and opinions. If you can't handle differing opinions, do not watch this show. Warning. This show actively shows the consumption of tobacco, cannabis and alcohol. If this offends you, do not watch this show. Warning. This show may discuss topics including, but not limited to, those in the realm of politics and conspiracy theories in a politically incorrect format. If these topics offend you or make you uneasy, please do not watch this show. Warning. The producers of this show will do almost anything for a laugh. If comedy or extreme comedic premises offend you, please do not watch this show. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the producers, affiliates, ISPs, streaming platforms, advertisers, partners or alike.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the beautiful land of the Blackfoot Confederacy and Treaty 7 territory, Big Nate Productions presents Getting Laid with Nate.
Come on. Why, hey everybody. How's she going? I found some new toys, This show, as you know, is brought to you by New Level Brewing. We're having some Berserker Blondes tonight. This is yellow, but all my stupid lighting in here makes it look white. And then we're drinking some Haüs lager as well. Me and my googly eyes here. How's everybody doing this evening? We got some new studio gear here. I hope it sounds better. It should sound significantly better. Oh! I gotta get off with my lawyer. Hold on a second. What else is going on here? This is what I was just I think I'm gonna rock this for the rest of the night. I think so. I think I'm gonna just do that. Oh, no, I want to be a juggalo. Do I look good as a juggalo? Fuck. Goat, the greatest of all time. Smoking goat. What else is going on? Okay, so just one second. This is what my show is, everybody. All right, this one might take a second. Oh, there we go. So this week, we've got a double dose of the Pizza Police for you. Double dose. So much, I'm barfing. Pizza. Oh, boy. Oh, I got people texting me. Yes, Jeff. Yes, I'm live. I'm Pizza Face live. So we're going to check out, let's see here. Oh my God, can I turn my damn phone off? Sheesh. Pizza guy problems, Anyways, because bad pizza is a crime, we're going to check out episode 5, and then later on we're going to check out episode 6, which I happen to be on. So check it out. It's the Pizza Police. Ah.
Alright, here we are. Pizza Police, as always, looking good under the hood. Let's do it.
Pizza Police is not affiliated with any law enforcement agency and only handles pizza-related offenses.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Pizza Police. We're here in Inglewood, Calgary, Alberta. We got Chad the Reckless, and we got a guest today, Jessica, pizza expert. Like I said, we're here in Inglewood. A lot of history in this place. Just down yonder, Farmer Jones' used vehicles was blown to smithereens by Don Johnson back in 1988. Bring your bones to Farmer Jones and get yourself an old new ride. Right across the street we got fire station, haunted, turned into a pub. What?
I didn't read any of this.
Nobody knows. Lots of history going on here. Tons of vibes and good stuff. But we got pizza, and you know what we do? High rights. We're doing it.
We're doing it. Pizza rights.
You got the right to remain cheesy. Any sauce can and will be used against you in the court of crust. Fire away. Check out that underside. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a decent crust.
Nice brown, crunchy, and the cheese on it is really good.
Oh, so much cheese.
Yeah.
I think the cheese is a strong point for this one here. Soft guy, but you know, sometimes the cheese has to carry the ball.
You ever think you'd see the day when the sauce guy would say there's enough sauce?
This is good. I like
Yeah,
it.
this is a tasty 5. I'm gonna do 7.4.
I'm gonna go 7-7.
I'm going to be in the middle because I'm in the middle, and I'm going to go 7.5.
Pizza Police. Until next time. Thanks, Jessica.
It's been a slice.
Cowabunga. This pizza don't eat itself. Haunted fire station. What? Haunted pubs. What?
It'll be a very interesting shot because I'm not really. I look at the camera and then I'm kind of like,
By the way, my wife. She's good.
About the same, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm afraid. Alright.
Hold on a second. My thing was beeping.
Being socially active.
Yeah. He thinks the best little soup. This is
they probably
that'll
just like
just be
assume
the
that we did
assumption.
like some takes, hopefully.
Oh, why? I'm hitting the button. It's not transitioning. There we go. Studio mode. Oh, man. Pizza Police. That was fun, eh? That was a good time. Let's see. Yeah, Chad is a quiet talker. That's for sure. He needs to learn how to project. He hasn't gone all the wrestling schools that Norm have gone to. So, hi, everybody. Hi, Jeff. Hey, Taylor. Hey, Craig. Jay. All the usual suspects are around. Like I said before, we will have the newest episode of Pizza Police soon, right after I talk to my friend here. So I had my friend Michelle Ayoub on. She's very interesting. I need a face while I do this intro. At least a mustache. Here, there we go. I'll be Mario. So I met with my friend Michelle over Skype, and you're going to hear the whole story, so I won't tell it again. But we had a very long, awesome conversation. She is partial owner of the Turbo House in Montreal, and she's all around. She's in the scene. She's a production manager and stuff like that. So here, let's just go with classic mustache. There we go. So yeah, when we first met in 2017, our meeting was kind of abruptly interrupted by a pretty intense event. So we talk about it here, and I'll see you in I think it's 40 minutes long. So I'll see you on the flip side. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm here today with my friend Michelle. How's it going?
Hello. It's going pretty good, all things considered.
Good. I'm glad you're being positive about all this. That's good. It's hard for us artist types to stay chin up in all this.
It's been a year.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think we can say that as much as the exaggeration of it's been a heck of a year as it's been an actual year.
Fuck.
I got the phone call March 12th to stop production, and the world was ending and everything was over. It was March 12th was the end of the world.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
People that watch the show are probably bored of hearing this, but my band had a memorial show for my buddy we were supposed to play on the 14th.
Oh.
And fuck, this whole time I've been trying to, anyways. Gotta wait till we can do gigs again. We don't want to do it online, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's it. And it's so much about the shift online has been great. And I think a lot of it's going to stay well beyond COVID, but it's not the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Even the shit that's been doing, there's been some amazing productions, and some people have just gone above and beyond. Like I said, I think that this is a format that's sellable and it's going to stay, but it's not the same, especially in metal and punk. You got to be covered in other people's sweat.
I know.
I
was talking with a friend about that the other day. It's how is there ever going to be a mosh pit again?
I feel like it's going to take a minute, but then
exactly
it'll just suddenly be back, and it'll be back. Yeah. It'll be back in the way that we all reminisce that we miss about, for those of us who are 90s and early 2000s kids, where it's the golden age of the slam dancing.
For sure. Yeah. I was thinking of inventing a body condom, so we could mosh.
Did you see the school in the States, the band, where they were in those little tents? The tuba players just all smooshed.
Yeah, as if tuba isn't embarrassing enough.
Oh, I thought it's just I applaud the effort, but also what the fuck are you thinking?
So we should pick up this conversation where we left off.
Yes.
I went out to Montreal. That was 2017, right? I think.
Yeah. Late 2017.
I have a little sister who had just turned 18, and my parents and my sister live out in the Montreal area, and in Montreal now, but so I was all proud brother. I flew out there. I was I'm going to take her to the coolest bar I know of, Fafun Electric, right? That place is seriously holy shit. I've always loved that place and had crazy times in there. So we have a mutual friend, Samantha Landa, and she's like, oh, you got to meet my friend Michelle. You guys would hit it off. You have a lot of, commonalities. We're in gigs and all this stuff.
We had a bunch of mutual friends too.
Yeah, totally. Especially because you're involved with 70K and all that. But
yeah.
So we're talking in Fafun Electric, and I'm wanting to have a smoke, and it's kind of loud, and we're talking. So I was like, would you mind coming outside and continue this conversation? And then we walk outside and everybody's like, so there's like me and then you behind me, I think, and then my sister and then Sam or something. And I hear like, whoop, plock. And you were carrying 2 beer bottles and you
I was holding a rocks glass.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what's in my face. Because I still have a piece of it right there.
Holy shit. And
because that's what ended up shattering. Because, you know, the rocks glasses that are heavy on the bottom. So when it breaks, it's not shards. It's like those little bursts.
Those
like the
cutty
little
bits.
Oh, the cutty bits is still in the plate.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was wild. You're immediately like gushing. I looked, there was like already a pool of blood, and I'm like, holy fuck. So explain to people what happened there. Like, did you like passed out on your feet or something, right?
I passed out, and what's funny is the last thing that I remember was you and I sitting at the table where like our whole group of friends were, and then we had that moment where you're like, hey, let's go outside. And I remember us standing up and taking a selfie to send to our buddy James. Because the last thing that I remember, like, distinctly, because anyone who's ever fainted or lost consciousness knows you kind of lose a little bit before and after.
Sure.
But the last thing I remember was that responsible adult miss that we took the selfie, and I was like, well, wait to send it. You're not going to text while you're walking. You're going to like fall and break your face. So I remember putting my phone back in my purse, and I was like, oh, I'll send it to him like once we're outside and stuff. And then the next thing that I remember after, you know, the motion of walking with you to go out to the back patio and putting my phone away, the next thing I remember was an upward movement and spitting out teeth.
Oh.
Which my biggest fear in life since childhood. Ask my parents. I used to have recurring nightmares about breaking my teeth. And I finally broke my fucking teeth.
Oh.
And I remember spitting out my teeth into a pool of blood. And then I was woozy. I didn't know what happened. And I think you were the one who told me. I can't remember if it was you or Sam that told me that the first thing that I said was, is everyone okay? Or something along those lines.
Well, I think you were like, no, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. It's okay. It's
well,
like,
once
no,
I was sitting up in the chair, yeah. But I think Sam was saying that, like, one of the first things that I said was I saw the blood and said, is everyone okay?
Okay, fair.
Thing to do.
Fair enough.
But yeah, when I was in that chair, so for those of you listening or watching, it was a terrifying thing. I have nerve damage and stuff from a
We have a picture here.
Accident.
We have a picture here. I'll show everybody. Look at that.
So that, everybody, that's in my bathroom. That is once I've already come home, and if you look really closely in the blurriness, you can see I've already been stitched up. So this picture doesn't do justice to what Nate and everyone else had to witness, because my cheek had bursted open.
Right, so like under your under your eye, right?
Yeah. So this, like a lot of those specks of blood that you're seeing in this specific picture, that's not blood that was not cleaned away. That's lack of skin.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I like when I hurt myself, I don't miss.
Yeah, no kidding.
Same with the car accident and my hand. Like I couldn't play guitar for 2 years almost after because I couldn't close my hand. Like they were surprised that I actually can move my fingers. So I have tons of glass in my hand as well from a different accident. So I have 2 glass under the skin related accidents in my life. But yeah, so long story short, turns out I have low blood pressure. I have hypotension. So my blood pressure dropped too suddenly and I fainted. But because I have all that nerve damage and stuff that I mentioned earlier, doctors were really concerned about a brain tumor. They were concerned about further nerve damage and just problems to my nervous system and all that. So I had to go through the whole extensive like MRIs and I did MRIs, I did EKGs, I did CAT scans, I did blood tests, I did urine tests, like all kinds of neurological, like close your eye, do this, do that, did all those tests only to have a neurologist be like, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And then blood pressure. And he's like, now your blood pressure is where it should be. You have hypotension. Like, right. And he was just like, eat better, stay hydrated. And,
that must have been
I'm at the cusp of it. So I don't need to be medicated, but I have to just be careful.
Yeah, it sounds like
gulp wine.
Nice. It sounds like they had you kind of freaked out. So that's kind of good, at least to find out it's just hypertension. Or hypotension.
Hypo, yeah. Oh, well, that's it. And I think a lot of the freak out was it was that I brought it up because I had all the nerve problems, and the nerve issues that I had were misdiagnosed for years as migraines. So I had multiple doctors over the course of a couple of years be like, you just have migraines. Here's some pills. You're not supposed to have migraines for 15 days, as I experienced and ended up in the ER for. So yeah, when I'd fainted a couple of times. So I brought it up to the doctors and then told them about the nerve diagnosis that I'd had when we figured out that it wasn't migraines. So yeah, they were concerned, I was concerned, but in the end, I'm just the luckiest unlucky person, or unluckiest lucky person.
Well, I'm glad we can laugh about it now.
My friends call me Glass Wolverine. I'm indestructible, but super fragile.
Well, you heal up good.
All things considered, you need to be under really amazing light. Like, that's what I'll get sometimes, is people will be like, what's on your face? And I'm like, scars.
Like Joker.
So it's made a good story.
Yeah. So we were just being introduced that night. So let's introduce you to the people. What do you do out there in Montreal?
I'm what's the expression? Jack of all trade, master of none rather.
Yeah.
I work in music production, or at least I did pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the co-owners of Turbo House, which is a bar and venue in downtown Montreal. We like to call ourselves the alternative rock bar that you can bring your mom to, which we're pretty proud of. And then, like I said, I work in music production. My main gig pre-COVID was as a production manager, but I also freelance and do a little bit of everything. I do logistics, I do brand and marketing consulting with companies and festivals, but also with bands and just pretty much anything to do with music. I just have dabbled in and
sure
stick with. I've been very fortunate that I have, or again, pre-COVID, was able to make a career out of it, which was rad. And I fucking miss my job.
Fuck, I know. It's crazy. So, and then what do you do? You have some involvement with 70,000 Tons of Metal too,
yeah,
right?
So 70,000 Tons of Metal is, this year would have been my 7th or 8th year, I believe. Can't remember. But so that's one of the many things that I freelance with. So at 70,000 Tons of Metal, I'm the volunteer coordinator. So on 70K, there's about 120 volunteer workers, everything ranging from stagehands and production assistants through to like audio help and just like hospitality, etc. So I'm the coordinator for that on the boat. And it was really weird to not have the boat this year. Like, I didn't realize how much it had become a staple of like my winter. Like, the boat always flowed so organically because the boat flew. But it was always something that fit so organically into my work, because for us here, and I'm sure for you too, like December, January's, February's dead season for tours. So it was always like perfect. It never conflicted with any of my tours, any of my gigs, and I could just fly out, do that for 2 weeks, and then fly back home.
And go on a cruise.
Get to go on a cruise, get a day off in the Caribbean, like fucking yes, please, and thank you.
Yeah, holy shit. That's the only cruise I've ever considered going on.
Same.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Same. And honestly, like, for me to go on, the first year that I did it was as a novelty. I had a lot of friends that had worked it, or that were volunteers, or that were playing it. And there was a year, honestly, I'm not going to lie, partially for a boy. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go this year. And I had a lot of friends that were working it, so they ended up getting me a gig on it. And that boy turned out to suck. But
woof.
but I ended up having an absolute blast. And my first year as a volunteer. But then, yeah, through working it, and then when they saw my CV and that this is legitimately what I do for a living, I eventually did get hired on officially. And I miss it too. Like, I miss it. Boat is boat fam.
Well, you're fucking lucky you're not still on it.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
Could you imagine? I can't fathom, like, the people that were stuck on what was Diamond Princess or whatever the fuck that boat was. Like, after 4 days, I'm done. Just even the idea of doing like a week-long cruise, I don't think I could handle that. Like 4 days, like maybe add on a 5th day, like 2 days at port would be nice instead of just 8 hours. But other than that, fuck that.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, so all I have to say, I work in music. I do a bunch of different shit. I think if you look which way do I have to tilt my head? I got a whole bunch of laminates up there.
There you go.
I miss it so much.
Yeah, me too. So
I never thought I'd miss 7 o'clock in the morning load-ins after loading out at 2 a.m., but I would, in a heartbeat, go back.
I never thought I'd miss annoying guitar players, but I do.
I mean, about 3-4 months, like during the summertime, when it was clear the shows weren't coming back anytime soon, I was having distance drinks with a couple of my tech friends, and I just made the comment of like, I will never roll my eyes at annoying local support acts ever again. I will always welcome them with open arms and love. I will never roll my eyes again.
So this show is obviously worldwide, but on the internet. But explain to us mouth breathers out here in Alberta, what the hell is going on? Like, is Turbo House open?
No.
Fuck no.
We've been closed since the end of September. And we were only reopened we got the okay to reopen early July. We waited about a week or two before we actually did reopen. But we were open from July to September in essence. So I guess technically October 1st.
Brutal.
Or October, like first week, early October. I don't even, time means nothing. Quebec's been weird. There was a lot of things, especially early on, that Quebec did really well. Like they were way more strict on a lot of things from the get-go. But in the months that have followed, it makes no sense. It's like they'll have a good idea or something that makes sense at its core, but then there'll be all these exceptions or weird timing. And now it's like, our current government, we're not going to lie, they're kind of sort of racist and hate Anglophones. Like, they're racist and hate Anglophones, not just against Anglophones. Like, it's like all kinds of shit where they suck and they hate Montreal. And again, there's a lot of the measures that are currently in place that I understand. I get closing a lot of the businesses. I get not having shows and stuff. And you know what? I wouldn't have my bar open right now under the current climate, even if I was allowed to be open. Because as my business partner Sergio put it so well, it's like, I don't want to take on that ethical burden of getting someone sick or contributing to someone being sick if it's not safe. Like this summer we reopened because it was outdoors, we had a patio, we were able to distance, we were able to take the sanitary measures and precautions necessary for our staff to feel safe. Like, yes, the clients are important, but our staffs are the ones that are at highest risk. Like, let's be real. But to reopen in, completely indoors and closed, it's just, people aren't comfortable, and I wouldn't want to force anyone to do that. But that being said, like, now we have the orange zones versus the red zones, and we have a province-wide curfew. Mm-hmm. And then the curfew, but it's different times depending which zone you're in. And then as of today, they've lightened it where every zone, the curfew is until 9:30 p.m. except for the greater Montreal area, where it's just kind of like, okay, I get that you want to keep the curfew. Whether I agree with the curfew, yes or not, it's irrelevant. But okay, you have a logical, again, whether you agree or not, there's a logical argument as to why we have the curfews. But then, well, that town is 8 o'clock, but this one's 9:30, and then we're going to reopen the movie theaters, but then the movie theaters were furious because they weren't allowed to serve popcorn, so the government swooped in and was like, okay, we'll compensate you guys for your popcorn sales. Meanwhile, all the ma and pa businesses that have been suffering for a year, they're not getting extra compensation, so it's kind of just, it's like the government's caving to the weirdest peer pressure while still proving that since day one, even pre-pandemic, they're just fucking shitty, fucking racist dummies. fucking
Yes.
hyper conservative and just bleh. So that's the gist of what's happening in Quebec in the most oversimplified, annoying.
Yeah. So did you
way.
just say that like everywhere in the province except for the greater Montreal area, their curfew's 9:30
Yes.
and yours is 8?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to draw. That's kind of my problem with all this is the mental gymnastics that they're forcing everybody to go through to get to their conclusions.
Well, that's it.
Especially,
And
we're
then-
coming up to an interesting little milestone here in about a week, and I think that's gonna, people are gonna be like, none of this has made any sense. Like, fuck you.
Well, that's it. Like, there's so many things and like that have been consistent throughout, and like internationally, like, wear your fucking mask, wash your fucking hands, and don't be in other people's personal bubbles. Like, those are 3 things that should apply
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and there are so many cultures that if you have the sniffles, you wear a fucking mask out of courtesy to not spread shit. Like, so those things like that, fine, and keep them. We should keep them a little bit longer, and I honestly think that, like, the masks, for example, like, if you're not feeling well, wear a mask. It's just courtesy, So stuff like that has been pretty consistent, but then when it comes to, like, this type of business can open, but that type of business can't open, and we can't open gyms, or, the massage, like massage therapists and stuff couldn't open for the longest time, but then, hairdressers can open, and then, this can open, but tattoo shops can't open, and it's just kind of, it's just so random.
Well, it's hard not to get conspiratorial when it's like, so what you're picking and choosing whose like lives you can destroy.
Well, that's it. And I mean, we're pretty lucky in Canada, just overall, for the most part. There is a lot of government aid.
Sure.
Is it perfect? Fuck no.
Yeah.
Is it easy to navigate? Fuck no.
Yeah.
But when I compare, and I'm sure for you too, like, I have a lot of friends in the States that have similar businesses or do similar work and stuff, and they are not in good positions. A lot of them are facing bankruptcy or closing their businesses or completely shifting careers and stuff. So, that's why when you asked me how I was doing, and it's like, all things considered, doing pretty fucking okay.
Yes.
But am I as good as I would like to be, or we possibly could be? No. But
yeah, if it wasn't for CERB and CRB and all that, I would be on the fucking street. There is no way around it, and it would have been during the winter too.
Absolutely the same. And it's like, I have been self-employed for the last 10 years. I don't qualify for regular unemployment and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So had they not created CERB, I'd have been shit out of luck.
Yeah.
And I have a little bit of savings, but I also just opened a business 2 years before COVID hit. So every single penny I have, and then some, because of my loans and everything to open this business, I have I had $2,000 in my savings account for rainy day rent.
Right.
That wouldn't have lasted me very long.
Well,
it was great for where I was at pre-COVID with steady. I had gigs booked until beginning of 2021. Confirmed gigs.
2020 was set up to blow up. Like, fuck. My buddy who I do corporate gigs with, he bought 2 more rigs. Mm-hmm. He wanted a little speaker on stick and a B rig and a C rig because it was like, this is gonna blow up. And then anyways.
What's insane is every single person that I've spoken to, be it other musicians or people in the music industry, or I had friends in the food industry, and across the board, regardless of what my friends or acquaintances or family were doing in life, 2020 was everyone's year to shine. It was like the new decade. Everyone had these amazing projects lined up. And on my end, Facebook memory popped up 2 weeks ago where it was like, oh my God, another tour announced. 2020 is gonna rip. And then I don't know what the cosmic shift was the universe being like, oh, everyone's having too good of a year.
Yeah. This is going too well for you people.
Let's pull that plug, everyone. This is going too good.
You go sit in your room for a year, humanity.
It's like, uh-oh, we let out too much joy juice. Fucking reel it in. Fuck. But again, I remember that phone call. I was in bed. I had just finished a week. I was just coming off of a full week where I did like, what was it, 7 shows in 6 days or 6 shows in 5 days, all sold out, 3 venues, huge tours. Got to work with Devin Townsend for a couple days, all that. So I just finished this insane week, and it was like, oh my God, 2020 is going to be this week, 52 times. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the day that I got the phone call, so on the 12th, I was in bed in like a blanket burrito, procrastinating going to the Bell Center to go pick up contracts for a show I had the next night. And I was just like, I'm fucking tired, blah, blah, blah. And then I get a phone call from my boss, and he was just like, stop working. He's like, stop production. Do not speak to anyone. Do not speak to your tour managers. Do not speak to the artists. He's like, do not speak to anyone. I will call you back. It's like, we are freezing for 30 days. And I remember that being the end of the world, because I had like, a couple shows in the next week or two. And that was on the 12th in the morning. And then within 48 hours, the whole world shut down. The bar shut down. All the tours were canceled. And it was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. Mm-hmm. And that 1 30-second phone call was just, my life stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that was the case for a lot of people. It was just fucking scurry.
Yeah.
I miss gigs.
Yeah, me too. I noticed when you guys opened up there at Turbo House that this is kind of, I like to try to, if we're going to talk about the shit parts of COVID, we should talk about the innovations too. You guys built like a pretty crazy deck outside to be able to do the outdoor dining thing, right?
We did.
Was that a permanent thing, or is that one of those like summer things that
So how it works in Montreal, depending on the boroughs that you're in, they're seasonal. So you get the permit, they take up X amount of parking spaces based on your storefront. So what people don't realize or don't know, even though we've always been pretty upfront about it, was actually what we had been designing pre-COVID. Because for anyone who's visited Turbo House, we're like short and long. So we actually had a huge space that we were eligible for. So that was already in the works before COVID hit. But then what the city ended up doing was they waived all the patio fees, and they turned a lot of the main streets, so including Saint Denis, which is where we're at. They turned it into oh my God, what's the word in English? Piétonnier, walking only. Pedestrian. Right. That's the word I'm looking for. Pedestrian.
Yeah, sure.
So they all became pedestrian streets. So you were able to kind of extend your patio into the public way a little bit more. And normally in Montreal, for these seasonal patios, they need to be wooden structures so that there's no danger if a car hits it, etc. So there's a lot of guidelines to be followed. So what we had designed was something that was up to code and regulation for a regular summer season in Montreal. And then we just benefited from the fact that they waived all of the fees and everything. So for us to get our permit to set that up this year cost us $50 as opposed to the thousands that we would have had to pay in fees and taxes, etc. So that patio is here to stay. So it's currently not up, but it will be up again every summer as long as we're occupying that location. So it was a good test run because it was huge and it was beautiful, and it gave everyone enough room to still have a lot of people, still have a really good ambiance, but with people still being comfortable and the tables still being a certain distance. We put out a sink outdoors. So, if you showed up, you had to wash your hands. We had contact tracing sign-up sheets before it was mandated by the government. And we were really anal about all that stuff because we wanted everyone, especially our staff, to feel safe coming to the bar. And we had a really, really great summer. We were packed almost every day, and we had a lot of amazing feedback that people they appreciated it because the effort was visible, and you could see a lot of other places in our area that, they were just trying to bring in as many customers as they could and make a buck, and they didn't really give a shit. And that's not what we about at Turbo House. The silver lining of the pandemic throughout the whole year, even when we were closed and still are closed, is a sense of community that we had always hoped for and aspired to have, but to see such amazing feedback and support by not only Montrealers but people around the world who just really appreciate what we're doing. And like, that's fucking crazy to see. And it's so, it's just humbling and just a good kick in our ass to just keep this alive no matter what 2020 and now 2021 throws at us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that is a good point.
Plus, we launched a merch line.
Oh, cool. Yeah, tell everybody about it.
We did, so pretty early on in the pandemic, before a lot of the government help came out, we realized that we were fucked. Just put it that way. Sure. So we did a bunch of pre-sales for just the basic logo t-shirt that we'd had since day one. So really just the TH logo on a black t-shirt or on a black crew neck. We did pre-orders and we sold a lot. So over the course of the next couple of weeks after that went well. And that was really just like, send your money to PayPal, give us your address, and you'll get it eventually. Because this is when Post Canada was still fucked and everything. Like some people waited 2 months for that first t-shirt. But as things progressed and time went on, we started collaborating with local artists, like friends of ours and local tattoo artists and stuff, to make custom designs. And we would... our logic behind that was like, yeah, it's one thing to ask for money, and a lot of people were giving money, but you kind of want to give something back. So with the t-shirts, we were printing locally, and we were working with local artists. So the artists and the local printer were making money, and then we were just, doing some brand reinforcement in a lot of ways, and giving, people something for their money, because we didn't want to just ask for handouts. Yeah. And it worked really well, and the artwork that we were getting was just fucking phenomenal. And we just kept selling out. So we just kept working on more collaborations, and it's just been going amazing. I mean, We're by no means rich, but it's been helping us keep our head above water for all of the fixed expenses that the government grants don't help, like the subsidies don't cover. So it's just been really great. And again, just people's response has been phenomenal. And we've been sending out t-shirts and hoodies around the world to people who've never even been to our bar. And that blows my mind.
That's cool. So that's still ongoing?
Yeah, that's still ongoing. So we have the merch store. If you go to our website, turbohouse.ca, there's the merch section. We have a shit ton of different styles of clothing. We've been doing jogging pants. We did one run of jogging pants that the butt said soft pants for hard times. Tons of different designs and different styles. In the summertime, we did tank tops. Now we have a bunch of hoodies and stuff. But it's just been great, and it's cool because it's showcasing a bunch of local illustrators and artists, and it's helping to promote the bar. And like, they're just objectively badass designs. I'm super stoked about it.
See, I love that shit. The innovation in the face of like total horse shit, right?
Exactly. I mean, you've got to. And we're all people that are used to working like crazy. So I know one of the hardest adjustments for me personally, and again, my business partners, is like, we normally work 24/7. I'm normally doing like 3-4 gigs at a time. I'm normally working full time, plus the bar, plus consulting, plus this, plus that. So to have a shutdown where suddenly you're not doing anything, like, no wonder people's mental health is in the fucking toilet.
Yeah. No doubt. I have some kind of undiagnosed PTSD because from like being a sound guy for 10 years, standing behind a board, getting like my head blown off. Like, doesn't really matter if you have earplugs in.
No.
If you have 12 subs in front of you, or what? Yeah, 12 18s, 30,000 watts or whatever it is. And I swear, like being at home and just like relaxed so much, it's done some weird things to me. Like, like my kid is like going through the Legos, like, and I'm like, turn around, I'm like, I have like shell shock, from not gigging. It's really kind of weird.
I totally feel you. And, at first, I know for me personally, the first couple weeks were blessing in disguise because I had not taken a break of more than a few days in 10 years.
Sure.
So to be forced, like my white hairs started falling out. I shit you not. My hair started going brown again. It was very bizarre. And like my health improved and all kinds of like, oh shit, like I'm getting too old for what I was doing. But yeah, exactly like you said, you hit a point too where I was like, almost hallucinating things, or my phone vibrating, and it'd be like oh, my man's at the border, and like, oh no, I have nothing going on in life. It's a Netflix notification. But when I went back to work, so I'm currently working full time I'm gigging again, even though it's not music.
Wow.
So the first couple days that I had a walkie-talkie, it was just like back into it, like, and I'm working a gig where a lot of the people that work under me aren't gigging people. They're like seasonal workers. I have a lot of teenagers and stuff like that, so they've never even held a walkie-talkie before. Whereas I'm like, it's like an extension of my chest pack, and I have my chest, like I have to bust out my chest pack again and have like my little envelope and my keys, and it was just like, learning, like riding a bike. It's like, oh my god, I can like go back into it. My current gig is nothing to do with music.
Yeah, you were telling me about this. Tell people this. I think this is a really interesting gig.
So the gig that I'm doing now, I got really lucky where it's actually funny. A lot of the people that worked at the company that I was at pre-COVID, a lot of us got snatched up just because, we're all available. So it's like high-skilled workers that suddenly are just all on their couches, twiddling their thumbs. So I actually got called for this gig, which I'm super grateful for. The event is called Illumi. And it's produced by Cavalia, which is an international touring company that does the fucking gorgeous horse show. So think like Cirque du Soleil, but with horses.
Right.
It's fucking beautiful. So the show that I'm currently working has been running since October. I came on in December, and it's a light show. So it's don't quote me on this, I believe 3-kilometer long course that you can either walk through or drive through, and it's all light structures. So there's different worlds that you either walk or drive through. Wow. And it's these giant fucking majestic light structures, and the enchanted forest that you're walking through that's completely lit up. Like it's a real forest that you're walking through that's just lit up and gorgeous. And the Arctic world where there's just like hundreds of lit up penguins and polar bears, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's outdoors. And we've been really lucky that we've been able to stay open even with all of the restrictions. We do have to abide by the curfew, which has been a little bit rough the last couple of weeks, but because it's
get home. You are being entertained too much. Get home.
Yeah.
Go back to your room.
So silly. But it's nice because it gives people something to do. If you're really paranoid or overly cautious or immunocompromised or whatever, you can do this in your car. There is
it's a driving thing, not a walking.
It's a drive-through or a walk-through, so you have the option.
Cool.
But for those who choose to walk through it, it's outdoors. It's 100% outdoors, barring like the bathrooms. So you can walk through it, and it's been built. It was conceived in a way to give space. Like you don't have to be in anyone's bubble. You can be in your little family bubble and still comfortably walk through. And it's been really nice. And the feedback that we get from the customers that come through is really that they get to kind of forget that it's, that we're in the current situation that we're in, because it's just this, and it's called Illumi, the Enchanted Worlds, I think in English. And yeah, it's just this beautiful light show. So I'm really happy to get to gig again. I'm out of my element in a lot of ways, but the fact that I'm back in a show production and I'm back with, just to have that lingo come back of like show call and site crew and this and that, and it's just like, I miss this. But it's so much of the job, because a lot of us have gigged together on other gigs, a lot of outdoor festivals, and just a lot of people are from the gig world, where you'll have those like little moments where it's like, I should be stage managing right now, or I should be like on tour right now, and it's a little sad, but it is nice that everyone's in the same boat, and I'm just happy to have full-time work right now, which just
I know, right?
I thank the tour gods.
I've actually been I have like weird Stockholm syndrome going on too. I've been going to my buddy's house and working for free on Saturdays. Doing streaming.
I don't blame you. Before I got this gig, my purpose in life was to go to my sister's houses and help them clean and organize. And it would just be like, and during the summertime, because when the bar wasn't open, I had sweet fuck all to do. So my sisters, they live respectively like 15 and 20 minutes away from my house by car. So I would walk to their house because I had nothing else to do. I would walk to their houses, which takes me an hour and a half, and then spend the entire day cleaning and organizing. And then my payment would be like, feed me and pay for my Uber home or drive me home.
Yeah.
And that was my only reason for existing, because I couldn't do anything. We couldn't go anywhere. And I'd go sit in the park and read a book, but it's only so many hours and so many days in a row that you can sit and read a book in a park before you lose your fucking mind.
Well, and you can only organize and clean your house so much too. Like at a certain point, it's like, holy fuck, this thing is, this is what I wanted to do, and I'm done now.
It may not look it because we're in my home office that's too cold for me to work in right now.
Sure.
But aside from like that bookshelf of just random, mostly Dungeons and Dragons toys, my apartment has never been this clean or organized. I got so bored at one point that I just emptied every single closet in my house. I have a 3-bedroom to myself, and I just, room by room, emptied it out and reorganized and cleaned and fucking scrubbed the floors of the closet, because what the fuck else am I going to do?
Yeah. My garage is like so... My garage has never been this clean, I think, since it was built in the 50s.
I believe you. I went through storage boxes that I haven't touched since I moved out of my parents' house when I was 17. I am 33. And I went through those boxes. Like, we're talking high school pictures and notes and shit. Like, Tupperware bins that I went through, because what the fuck else am I going to do?
Well, and we even, we killed some weed, because you can grow weed now. That's all legal. And we went through one of those. We got a little tent, and anyways, we killed them. But we went through a cycle of growing weed, too.
You gotta keep busy.
Yeah. Well, very cool. So, like you mentioned earlier, if people want to go support like what you're doing and Turbo House and stuff, they can go to turbohouse.ca, right, and go buy some merch.
So the website's the best way to start. We've got all of the bar information, the Turbo House shop and stuff. But even just to go check us out on Facebook or Instagram, we are ridiculously active on those.
Cool.
And yeah,
we'll put all that.
And all support. And if you don't want to support us, find your local venue or a local artist that you care about, and like
support
every
them.
Fucking penny fucking counts. Every fucking like counts. Every share counts. Like, now's the time.
Yeah, cool. That reminds me, I should give a shout out here, because they've been shouting me out. If you want to support Dickens, all you Calgary people, they have a Twitch stream going, and they're trying to become a Twitch partner, which I think means you're monetized or something.
I think so.
So even like the owner, Chris, is a DJ, and I think he's doing like... he's like up to 3 a week now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Go follow them, and then just go and watch his DJing sessions. And if you don't like the music, just mute it, because it gives, and that's one way you can help without doing nothing. Mute it in your browser tab, and it makes, it tricks the algorithm into thinking that we're all very cool and very popular. So go, I think they're Dickens YYC on Twitch. And follow them too, and that's the way you can support here in Calgary. Hey, it's been a great conversation. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is top 3 interviews, I would say, on the show. So you're a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm glad we got to finish the conversation we started having back in 2017.
I'll forever remember, for everyone who's listening and watching, he checked in on me, and it was super sweet, because my boyfriend at the time, who worked at that bar, checked in on me.
Oof. God damn.
See, you got better boyfriend points than my now ex. So, just say.
Awesome. Well, cheers and peace.
Cheers.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. That was fun, eh? She's a good time. I'm confused. What's going on? You like this bit? This is a bit. This is Nate figured out what snap camera is. Bit. So on that note of being the goat, we have I was lucky enough to be invited on to the Pizza Police as a guest. I couldn't believe when they asked me. So I, of course, accepted. And check this out.
Looking good under the hood.
Pizza Police is not affiliated with any law enforcement agency and only handles pizza-related offenses.
All right, everybody, welcome to Pizza Police once again. As always, with me, the ill-advised, the universally despised, Tad the Reckless, and we have a special guest today, the exclusive American-Canadian himself, Big Nate, from Getting Late with Nate. So we're here in Varsity, Calgary, Alberta. We are at Matador Pizza and Steakhouse.
Fun fact, Matador has been around since 1976, so that's 45 years.
That's 45 years. We just had, this is a crazy episode. We just had a truck go through here, take out the whole set, and it was chaos everywhere. But we're getting it done. You know what we do. You know how we do this. Every pizza has its rights.
We're doing the pizza rights.
Here we go.
You have the right to remain cheesy. Any sauce can and will be used against you
In the court of crust. All right, let's get into this. And we're going to rate this, of course, from 1 to 10.
So much cheese. This is beautiful.
Damn tasty.
This is like 80% cheese.
Cheese for days.
Not as greasy as you think, though. That was cheese.
No. Good crunch.
I personally am a light sauce guy, so I love this.
Not a lot of sauce. Now I'm going to say this. You know me, I'm the sauce guy. That's not a bad thing.
The cheese is the star of it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Good crust, really tasty. Now, I'm the guy who eats the pizza to the crust, throws the bones away, but I'm liking this. This crust has actually got some flavor to it. I'm going to have to go 8.1.
Being a huge cheese fan, I gotta go 8.8 because it's super cheesy.
I was at an 8. I'm going to match it on and be at an 8.
Yeah.
2.1 and an 8.8 Matador Pizza. They're doing it right. 45 years. Pizza Police, get some.
We'll see you next time.
See, you clearly want the slice, right?
Did you just pull a pizza cutter on everybody?
Yeah.
Give me all your money. Hi, everybody. I'm Matador Pizza. How's it going today?
Nobody sounds like.
Sometimes they put too much, and you take a bite, and it comes out and squirts all over your face, and like burns your lips and stuff.
Oh,
And that really drives me insane. So I think
that's your wet dream, isn't it? Get this sauce in my face.
yeah, he's backing right now that way.
Oh, I gotta be on camera? No, I don't want to be on camera. My wife will see me. What do you do with your vegetable love?
We're back on the air, everybody. Back on the air. Looking good?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like I've been eating pizza all day. Yeah.
How many clips you got going on there?
I have so many clips. I have problems forming attachments, so I get all these clips.
I get easily attached.
At least I can hold on to something. I got a big clip to spoon me at night, too.
A clip body pillow. Oh, I like how they leave that ending nice and long so I can switch back over. Those guys were a riot, man. It was like that the whole day. We were just, well, whole day. It was 2 hours, the whole thing. But we were cracking jokes and, and barfing up pizza. Let me get rid of that. There we go. So there we have it. That was fun. We did another one. I want to thank Michelle, Ayoub, for Skyping in from Montreal. And I want to thank all you fine people for watching and chatting. And we've been quite active this evening. It's good. Tell people if they're bored on Friday night at the wrong late hour, at the worst possible time slot that nobody seems to want to watch it at, that we're here. Excuse me. So, yeah, thanks to Michelle. Thanks to the Pizza Police, Norman, Chad. And you never know. We were talking about some characters, so we'll see. Could be interesting. Hell yeah. Hopefully, we'll see you next week, and thanks for watching.